Welcome to the online award ceremony for the best GCSE and A-Level maths YouTube channel, in my opinion. There are 5 categories to award here. They're not necessarily in order when they get into those categories, but nevertheless, I've decided to group them this way. We'll talk more about what they mean as we go along. Hidden gems are full of great videos, experienced presenters and mathematicians, generally quite passionate, but maybe not so well known. In at number 5 is Think Twice. Now you can see a number of statistics I put up there, but mainly look at this video. We're looking at double pendulums, and they've set up 12 double pendulums in this very intriguing simulation. I just felt like some of the videos and animations are so inspiring. So yeah, if you want to be inspired with your maths geometrically, not necessarily in the curriculum, then go here. I'd say be careful not to type in just Think Twice, otherwise you'll probably end up with Celine Dion. Make sure you add a math too. There's some really good animations, I said, but nothing new for the last 3 years. That said, still, check it out. Not very active community and doesn't go live, but that doesn't detract from the fact that it's a hidden gem. Math with Janine at number 4 is a very well presented A-level maths topic example channel. We've got very clear and concise examples and very positive overall style that makes very difficult concepts much easier, in my opinion. There are some great videos here for A-level that are worth watching. A video has not been produced in a year, but after talking with her, more is on the way soon, and they are producing shorts every day anyway. So not one for live events, but that's not everything. These are great videos. Stick with and follow. In at number 3 is Mathologer, a pedigree of a channel with lots of videos. It's ready to suit anyone. The explanations are clear and thorough. And the channel is approaching legendary status as we get to that 1 million mark. The last video was 4 days ago, so it's really quite an active channel, and there's plenty of community activity. So if you ask a question, you're going to get a response. That's fantastic for a channel this size. Number 2 is Mathonify. This is an excellent curriculum-based learning channel with alternative methods, and overall a really cool guy. He runs live streams and offers pretty prompt support on his Discord channel. A number of followers reside in this channel too, and they support. Mathonify has a way of explaining things, I would say, that just sinks in, and you won't regret following. He's currently working on a great online practice textbook, which is great for reinforcing the videos, so follow for when this is released. Unique practice questions are really the gold for maths revision, so you need to get as many as you can, and there's so many that just get recycled over and over, so getting something fresh and brand new is one of the best ways we can be prepared. Videos are coming out fairly regular. The last one hasn't been for 2 months, and the live session for a year, and that's due to a number of passion projects that he's involved in, but there's such a great library already, and as I said, great community. Okay, number 1, but obviously not in any particular order, is Welch Labs. Huge following and all quite deserved. There are various videos to interest those at A-level, and there's a really nice link to the real world stuff through cool animations. There's a great complex number animation which you're seeing right now. It shows the true roots of the equation that you can see there on the paper, and it's this video that's kind of this creative thinking and representation that really inspires me. It gives me insight that I couldn't have imagined. It's another upcoming star. I believe this video went viral, and as you can see, it's a fairly active channel with the last video 3 weeks ago. It doesn't particularly go live, but there's a fairly active community. I've noticed lots of video comments, so that's kind of really useful when you can all get together, not necessarily from the creator, but it's a great channel. Absolutely have to follow it because I think there's good things coming. And now that brings us to a different type of channel called the Study Buddy. This kind of channel might be a bit smaller, but it's potentially excellent for support. You can ask direct questions, and very likely you're going to get a direct response. You can probably even request videos directly. And just before we continue, it's probably worth saying that this category is pretty hard to define because the algorithm can be quite cruel to smaller channels. So it's very much luck if you come across one channel like this, and I've found a few, thankfully. But if you know a channel that I haven't mentioned, it always responds and offers regular help, then please comment below and share. I would probably technically put myself into this category, especially if the channel got a little bit bigger. But I love responding to every comment, and anyone that needs help, I'm there for it. So I put this at number 3, Math the World. So kind of a cool title. It's a, well, Math the World is motivated by, I guess, the most annoying question in teaching, which is, when will I ever use this in real life? So I've got many answers to that question myself, but with a lot of everyday scenarios and applications to the real world, they generally succeed at bringing the real life element and reason to the forefront of the video and make it quite obvious why you would use it. The channel is pretty good at replying to comments too, and it's small enough so that each member of the community has a chance to feel valued. So this is here because it's still at a point where it wants to grow as a channel, and you can really get involved and be part of its growth because it's doing really good things. So see what you think. Again, number 2, but not because it's better than 3, is Bison Maths. I've been very impressed with Bison Maths, not gonna lie. I find the work that is happening on this channel to be of very high quality, but more than that, it's got a lot of support. Bison Maths is one of those definitely hidden gems that could probably fit into a lot of award categories, but it is here right now because it's a gem. The channel is high quality, everything you could want from a maths channel, and if you're studying maths, it's the right place to be for a number of reasons. This channel is currently taking applications to win a scholarship fund for your studying of maths, so do go over there and get an application in. What a fantastic place to be, right? The channel responds to most messages, and it's obviously a very experienced teacher. I would say you just got to follow. Look how regular they go live every 12 days, but that could be more or less, and you won't be disappointed, honestly. And in at number 1 is Mathonify. We've seen Mathonify before, but here they are back again. Mathonify's here because in this particular setting, he gives the best support. So the channel you probably wouldn't consider huge at 72,000, although I wouldn't complain myself. But it's got the best Discord channel with some long-standing members, and very, very quick to reply to anything you need help with. It's a very good place to be. Second time round. That brings us to the Syllabus Slingers. I do get a lot of people who want to self-study, and they ask me, where can I go to self-study? You might be, working from home. You may be homeschooled, or you just an adult, and you might be in the army and you want to train ready academically. So these are fantastic channels for doing that. They'll get you through the exam, and they follow whatever you're looking for in terms of a course. And at number 4, we are back again, and it's because of the outstanding reply rate on this channel and the fact that, on top of being a hidden gem, Bison covers the whole syllabus. It's a great channel in terms of a community, active and powerful if you want to get involved, and it's a channel that cares. And it's still at a size where you can get amazing help, which makes it different from other channels in this category who don't offer the similar level of help with that syllabus. There's a good range of good old-fashioned in-class lessons, which is great if you're self-studying or homeschooling. Absolute must follow. So number 3, we have the great Corbett Maths, and if you've ever been in a classroom in the last 20 years, you're going to see Corbett Maths. The channel has 1,280 videos explaining every facet of Key Stage 3, GCSE and A-Level Maths. The videos are organised and straightforward. You can't really contact the owner, and there's no really community tab, but nevertheless, it's an absolute must to follow. The best thing about the channel is the website. As you can see here, we have the Corbett Maths excerpt from that website, where you can see a welcome, videos and worksheets, so they're all linked. You can get practice on every video, and it's quite nice to search topics there. The 5 a day is excellent. If you're studying GCSE, get yourself to the 5 a day, because every day you get nice 5 practice questions, keeping you sharp. We've got revision cards, books, all sorts. So it's just the best website, really, if you're going to be studying and you don't want to buy a textbook. This is going to be all you need. You're also going to find exam papers there. All right, so exam papers are going to be just absolute game changing if you're studying for maths. If I guess it's a bit of a teacher resource too, but as I said, use it for your advantage as a textbook. Number 2 is the GCSE Maths Tutor. Where did he come from? Well, he came from 2019 and since has had 34, nearly 35 million views. With nearly 400 videos, this is a powerhouse in syllabus slinging. So the style is more simplistic and to the point. Clearly, that is working for a lot of people, and we don't argue with popularity. The brand also contains A-level content too, so you're pretty much sorted for the next few years. And I would say there were some great videos, such as the idea of the whole GCSE in 2 hours. And yeah, you might think, how much detail can it really go into if it does it in 2 hours? But maybe that's not what it's for, but it's also how you want to use it, maybe at the last minute to refresh everything. And I gotta say, it's definitely a cool thing to have. So just to wrap up, I think we've got to mention the website, which you can go on and get a like a predicted grade for whatever tier you're studying. I think it's worth it. There's 20 standard, well, I think they're actually quite difficult questions for your particular tier. I think it took me 7 to 8 minutes, so that couldn't have been that easy. You get yourself a predicted grade, where else are you going to get that? It's great. So get involved, and this channel is definitely going to be doing some great things. The website looks stunning. I don't know who's doing the branding, but absolutely brilliant. A little bit jealous. I'm afraid you can't leave this category without talking about TL Maths, because, well, legend. We have a 4,100 library here in this channel of classic teacher up the front at the board video, if you like feeling that vibe at home. And if you want to self-teach, this channel follows the A-Level and GCSE curriculum really, really well and thoroughly for all exam boards. I think there's a textbook that he's just released. So all in one station, really. Not sure there's anything left untaught. If you go to the website, you'll find some resources too. So, great all-rounder. It's really such a great effort, and I've lost count of the amount of students who found this website to be their most useful when self-studying. So I know it's in at number 1 for no particular ordinal reason. In this case, maybe it just snipes the top spot. You have to find a channel that vibes with you in general. Okay, so calling it number 1, yeah, you've got to find one that you like, but this one is quite professional in general. It's time for another section. This one's brain candy, essentially edutainment. So are we going to be very rigorous? No. Are we going to be writing the maths out line by line? Less so. This is more for the interest, the maths history, etc. In at number 5 is, I don't know if you've heard of them, but someone called Vihart. I have to apologize if I said that wrong. This channel was introduced to me recently, and I quite like the processes and thoughts that this person is having as they're talking through fairly mathematical concepts. It's one of the more curious channels, and it remains logical with a more practical, hands-on element. There are a number of curiosities here which, to be frank, they kind of ooze an infectious curiosity. Sure, there's some maths involved, but be prepared to be entertained with strange investigations, and, well, somehow they just make sense. It's a fun ride, and for sure it's entertainment, especially this little curiosity of an origami. Really watch this video, you'll be intrigued. And where would this section be without the great Matt Parker, also featured on another well-known channel, which we may or may not be getting to. Holding his own at 1.24 million though is stand-up maths. Well, you're not going to get the sit-down maths on pen and paper, but you will get stuff like this video where we have a great game, Dr. Nim, from the old days. Yes, this game was quite fascinating. So you have to choose a certain number of marbles to pass through, and you've got to try and beat the game, but it's not like it's a computer, it's like a physical board. Go watch the video, it's absolutely brilliant. The last video was 8 days ago, so this is a fairly regular poster, but unfortunately no community interaction. But who needs it when it's this good? There is, well, I would say this might be a front to this website here, which I've got a little excerpt from in the middle, where you can see links to YouTube, shows, speaking events, stuff. It's like, stand-up comedy and good stuff at that. Well worth it for a bit of entertainment or edutainment. And here is that channel. At number 3, the great number file. and the kind of guests that we get on here, like such as Oxford Professor there, not mentioning any names because that's going to be for a video on some of the top Instagram celebrities, no, maybe not celebrities, but personalities. If you love numbers and maths, there is so much content here that you are going to find something weird and interesting for you, whether it's maths for maths sake, maths history, to modern day conundrums. A lot of it is grounded in real life, and there's very engaging hooks in most videos. Who can resist the Pokemon here? If you like edutainment and you want some inspiring academic content, this will not disappoint. Okay, you will find curriculum or skills work. You may just find something that restores your wonder in STEM subjects. There are, as I said, plenty of guests from Hannah Fry to Terence Tao. Think of it as Maths TV online. It's hard to say what level of maths you need for this channel. I think you just learn a little from some of the videos and maybe from others, maybe a bit less or a bit more. The channel is produced professionally by Brady Harron. Apologies if I pronounced that wrong. And as a result, it's like a TV show and really well polished, so worth a follow. Of course, if you're looking for something curriculum based, this isn't it. This is purely not so much about the study, but the interest. Veritasium, in at number 2, is one of only 3 channels that I recommend personally on my YouTube channel. I find the videos compelling and the presentation top quality. The channel is great at finding the most interesting stories in the world and even better at telling them. It's always a treat when another one of these videos comes out and can definitely entertain you beyond what you could imagine. But it also gives you a ton of insight and trivia in the STEM field. I always remember the video where he explained that at some point he knew the channel was just taking off and it might just become his full-time profession. An absolute dream situation. I'm sure that you will agree with me. But he's doing some great things. There's a great team, and long may it continue. And long may you enjoy it as much as I do. And at number 1, Tibby's has a way of speaking that calms the mind. She's humble and will take you on a journey without missing those little steps by assuming that you know them. The storytelling, the maths history, and the unique ways of presenting videos make her really stand out as definitely on the side of entertainment, although you will see smatterings of rigor. I must say, I love the videos where she looks into the history of famous intellectuals' exam papers like Terence Tao or their diaries, and I think it really brings it to life and makes you appreciate the maths, and perhaps the entire field of STEM even more. Tibby's is very creative too, so be prepared for greatness, but quite a fruity ride. Perhaps this is the category we've all been waiting for, and for this one, I'm only going to give this badge at the very end because this is the one section that the order matters. We are ordering the biggest channels that I know about, that I agree with how good they are based on how big they are. So we're talking their subscriber count. Now, these channels are pretty big, meaning it's hard for them to engage. I'm not going to talk about those statistics as much. And I will say that you need 1 million followers to enter this category. Are you dying to find out if you're in it? Let's go. Who's that guy? Well, this is number 13, lucky number 13, and the most recent member of the Millionaire Club on YouTube. So 1 million subscribers. Congratulations, Math Sorcerer. You made it to the top 13. And this is a great channel. It's been around since 2014, 125 million views, and over 9,000 videos. All Dragon Ball Z fans could only dream of having so many videos. And there's very enthusiastic delivery here. But more than that, it's not just about doing the maths. It's also the motivation, the psychology behind it. So you'll see some great videos about self-belief, about how to study and how to keep healthy. It's just an emporium of wisdom, and I encourage you to follow, give it a shot, dip in every now and again, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's a very interesting character. I mean, if you look at the branding, it's definitely my kind of thing. If you've been ever playing World of Warcraft or you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, it's definitely very appealing. But no, this guy's really cool, very, very nice and helpful. The level is mostly A-level to early undergraduate level, so it's a little bit on the harder side for if you're thinking you're studying GCSE, but yeah, really, really worthwhile. The website has got more resources online and links all of the potential courses really well, because YouTube's not the best at doing that, so it's nice to have the archive online. But definitely worth a check out. This is number 13. And in at number 12 is Tibby's again. It's a big channel, okay? It might be an edutainment channel, but it's also a big one, and it belongs in 2 categories. So we've got 1.26 million followers, and the channel's been around for a while, so that's really to everyone's benefit, because it's a great channel. It does go through some proper mathematics. It also goes through the history, and I think it serves as a great way to motivate people in their journey and their careers, and inspire them. At its heart, it's a channel with a bit of everything. So I think Tibby's is very relatable, and we'll talk at length about her choice to study maths, which I found is a very good video of hers. It was very insightful, and I think it's nice that somebody can be that vulnerable. And I think certainly you do feel in a room with Tibby's when you're watching the videos, and it feels very personable. So if you follow, I am confident you won't regret it, but I've already said that. Now we're looking at number 11 with the 1.28 million is StatQuest with Josh Starmer. I cannot tell you how many times this channel has really brought clarity to a statistical concept. It's great. If you want a definitive set of lessons in statistics at any level, you will find this channel very useful. The most recent foray is into data science and AI machine learning. So pretty decent videos on there, like really well explained, and I don't think you're going to regret a follow. Apart from these videos, the website itself contains a really useful video index, doing a better job than obviously YouTube can muster at the moment. I really like the podcasts series from experts in their field. I think you should check that out, because they're very useful when you're thinking about your future career, but also I think they're inspiring to have the conversations about something that's relevant and modern and what's really going on. So yeah, find out about the maths that's behind the modern AI trend. Number 10 is Black Pen, Red Pen. We've got 1.33 million views here, with 2,355 videos, over 200 million views since 2012. Black Pen, Red Pen is a living legend. We have so much on this channel. So it's about competition maths, shall we say, challenges, and very specific examples. It's not necessarily ordered in terms of a curriculum, but if you follow each day, you will find an interesting challenge to get involved with. The content is aimed at around A-Level and A-Level further maths, with a big emphasis on calculus. Tons of challenges for calculus. The channel is very famous for, in fact, its Olympic style challenges, around 100 integrals challenge that he gave himself a medal for. It really demonstrates the discipline and patience needed to succeed when watching these sorts of videos. It's nice to have a study buddy, and I know this isn't the same as the previous category, but I feel like these videos are very personable, and you're in the room there doing the challenges. Okay, in at number 9 is Patrick JMT. Started the channel back in 2007 and has since made 2,100 videos with 398 million views. It's very impressive. The channel is known for the direct and clear teaching videos. Those who are struggling in class often need a straightforward approach to achieve success in their qualification, and there's a wide range of topics here to help that. It's based on the American curriculum, actually, ordered by topics, so if you know what topic you want, you can find a good video. And I quite like how many examples that Patrick goes through for each concept. It's really useful to embed, especially if you're not feeling too confident. The level here obviously is secondary school leading into early undergraduate work, with a focus on reinforcing core topics. It's an excellent foundation and worthy of a follow. Tech Maths, or TEC Maths, you take your pick. We have a channel here that's been around since 2009 with 150 million views and 400 videos. I think that's very impressive. We have all sorts of videos on this channel: mental maths tricks, shortcuts, calculation tips. In general, it's from middle school to high school, and anyone interested in enhancing mental arithmetic skills with just a touch of A-Level. I think I saw matrices there. So through quick and practical tutorials, Tech Maths covers things like multiplication shortcuts, etc. It doesn't particularly cover advanced topics or a very in-depth curriculum. It is here as a valuable supplement for developing a strong number sense. I really like the simplicity of the animations, And it might be useful to note that this website doesn't have any resources available, so they are just videos. And if you want a website with more, then we can look to the other websites like Syllabus Slingers. But this is definitely a great way to provide value. Eddie Wu, who nobody or everybody has heard of Eddie Wu. 1.86 and 1.87 million now, actually. So at the time of planning, it's gone up by quite a bit. So impressive. And if you like the style of being in the classroom, if you like engaging and passionate approaches to teaching, this is for you. As an experienced maths educator and teacher, Eddie provides clear explanations of various mathematical concepts in a very, I think, enthusiastic way. Sets up the problem really like a good story. When you're watching a YouTube video or a live stream, the streamer or the presenter has such an energy that it's infectious. And maybe you're feeling down, but when you listen to them and they're all upbeat, it does make you feel good. And when you feel good, you can study better. You feel more relaxed. And so this is really an underestimated or underrated skill that's not so obvious. There's nearly 5,000 videos here. You're going to find something that you want. If you want to go to his website, you can get worksheets for practicing some topics, and a second YouTube channel is there if you're thinking about becoming a teacher. You've got some good tips. Definitely check it out. Mind your decision, sir. So Presh is bringing us and serving us a 3.11 million, actually it's 1.12 now, million subscriber channel. Studied maths and economics at Stanford, of course. Well, that's going to impress for sure. I really like this question that's on the current video. Thinking of how unique it is, because it's not about basic symbols. If you look at in much detail about these particular symbols chosen, they're not all the same. So you have to think about what each number actually represents. Anywho, the channel is about brain teasers mostly. And since 2012, with over 600 million views and over 1,100 videos, it's a big old channel. And hopefully, because you don't know what you're going to get, but maybe there'll be something there that'll inspire you. It's definitely come on so much, and worth a follow, especially if you've got a love for maths and you want some regular little curiosities. Presh has also written some books which you can buy. The channel found crazy success from, I remember the controversy around an order of operations question that made it into the newspaper, and one of the most popular explanations as to how one would do this came from this channel. Now, the channel has a fairly good branding and it feels quite polished, and I think for this reason it just adds to it. I'm really happy for this channel. It's smart and fun, and I just love seeing a new video out. It's a good job. So Math Antics, I can't really think of something equivalent except Cocomelon, because this is a for children channel, which means no advertising, yay! But it also means that the level might not suit everyone, but it's here because it's math. It's as math as it can get, and who knows who's going to need this at what level, right? So we'll come in at different levels. 3.38 million subscribers. There's a similar reason behind Cocomelon's success, I assume, and this is since 2011. So good job of 91 videos, 300 million views. That's a lot. When you first watch this, you'll be struck by how polished each video is, I would say, with the animations, transitions, script, and there's a real person talking with sound effects. There's a lot of work that goes into this. I can only think AI would relieve a lot of it. There is a wealth of videos for primary school and up to GCSE even. It's based mostly on the American curriculum, so it may or may not suit you. It probably doesn't matter too much, but yeah, it's up to you. If you still want to use it though, so to get through the British curriculum, just be aware of which topics that you need help with, and I think searching will be fine if you're looking for that specific help. For a small fee of $20 for a year, you can get extra content such as worksheets and answers for all of the topics on the website. It could be worth considering. Numberphile. Yes, we've not had this channel before. It was Numberphile the last time. Good try. Since 2011, we have the Numberphile doing its thing. We've already talked about how brilliant it is, but we will mention here again that it's 4.58 million subscribers. It's just hard to imagine. To solve, this channel, if you've ever seen anything, is extremely interesting. What we have in the video is kind of an explanation of an ancient way, not ancient, why did I say ancient? A very old way of how to cut a cake in such a way that it doesn't go moldy or stale. And there's a really nice bit of mathematics around that. So, number 5 is slightly more than education, and it's somewhere amongst the many, many videos. I think if you watch them all, you might find some sort of curriculum, at least partially covered. Take a chance with this one if you're unsure, but what have you got to lose? You'll never know how good it is. Do we really need an introduction for this one? 3 blue, 1 brown. The dulcet tones of that voice, as well as the lovely background hum of Rubinetti's music, I suppose on top of that, the Manim visuals have come to produce one of the more beautiful videos that we see in mathematics. With 6.65 million subscribers, I'm not even surprised. Grant Sanderson produces, or is one of the biggest names in maths education online. Mathematicians, engineers, and physicists have all exclaimed, "Ooh," as the beautiful animations and the chill vibes reveal concepts in a way like never before. Every other year there is a summer expo which creators get together to make videos in a competition. It's a really good way to get involved and to discover some new super interesting channels, although beware, I have noticed in my research for this video that a lot of them are one-hit wonders. They came around for that one video, as brilliant as it was, of course, and then are no longer active. So yes, I think there's many that have been given the tools for his style and love to copy, but despite that, Grant is still an incomparable creator. There is a very active but high-level Discord which you can join. It can be intimidating, but just get involved. It's also a really good community. 3B1B is a must-have addition to your maths education. You might not find everything you need here though, so obviously go for one of the curriculum places, but you can't do without 3 blue, 1 brown. Sorry, not sorry. Number 2, yeah, you did read that right. Science, chemistry, but this is a maths channel, and to be honest, whether it was originally called that or not, it's pretty much the biggest asset of the channel. So 8.5, well, let's be precise, 8.64 million subscribers. You would have thought it was the top spot, but I think that's even more of an achievement anyway, considering that this person is not an institution sponsored by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which we're about to see. The visuals, pretty old school, Comic Sans, kind of like old school. There's something about the clean visuals, simple, that it takes away from it being intimidating. I think there's a decent amount of practice in each of the videos, but there isn't extra resources behind this. So you know where to go if you didn't want that, but that doesn't mean this isn't useful. This is a very good dip in, dip out. The Organic Chemistry Tutor has a website, which makes navigation of the topics so much easier than YouTube has managed to allow with their playlists. So even if you're not in the American curriculum, you can just about find what you want anyway. I think the rate at which these videos are being made, you may run out of videos at some point soon, although fair enough, we have seen over 9,000 in a different channel. What is it at number 1? It's Carnigo. I'm joking, it's actually Khan Academy. Khan Academy is in just other whisker with 8.66 million subscribers, and I've been tracking the rate recently. You will find that the Organic Chemistry Tutor is catching up, not static here. So watch out, Khan Academy. You have my badge of honor for the boss of leg ends just today, and tomorrow is anyone's business. We're having a look right now at a video from the creator of the website, and let's not judge. Sometimes all you need to draw is a little circle to represent a potato, and that's what it is. It's simple, it's straightforward, but if you could listen right now to the presenter, lovely voice, making jokes, very engaging, everyone's experience and success. It's essentially an institution, come on, with sponsors like Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. I mean, you're doing well. The chances of you finding what you need here is huge, it's high, but and the styles and the quality, fair enough, they may vary, but they're generally well thought out, and you're going to find someone that you vibe with. The tutors are generally charismatic and thorough, so it's all good. We're talking serious views here, like 2.2 billion views, over 8,500 videos, so it's definitely a huge thing. Whilst there is a lot of content, and what I find is that can be overwhelming. Now, there is an AI called Khan-Migo, which would probably sift through all of that quite easily and present to you the things you need. It promises very highly personalized learning. Now, you may be aware the impact of AI tutors is still not fully established. The long-term effects are not established, and I have seen preliminary studies where if you have AI assistance, it will increase your productivity by some, let's say 20%, but then if you remove that AI and you carry on working on your own, that can reduce your productivity by over 30%. So when does that normalize again? But it's definitely something to consider about a walking stick or a crutch, about leaning on a tool without thinking for yourself. But so far, the interactions with Khan-Migo at least indicate that it could be a great companion for figuring out your pathway through maths, getting the supportive little person on your side while you're doing work, and managing your transition. So I'm looking at this space very carefully moving forward. Hello everyone, thanks for watching my top 13 and my award ceremony, and I'd just like to thank you all for turning up and participating in everything on the channel. I get thousands of views on my quizzes and I love doing them, so I'm hoping you find them useful. I want to ask, did I miss your favorite channel here? Please comment below if I did, and let me know why it's your favorite, and we can get some sharing and of really good resources for everyone. And in the spirit of the whole online studying, I just took it upon myself to think about if there was any advice I would give to somebody who had to or wanted to study on their own. Because as I said, I get this question a lot. So if you're going to study online, there are a few important things. The first is to make sure that you get a scheme of work. You need a list, you need something to aim for, something to tick off as you go along, so that you know everything that's required and nothing's going to get in your way there. So I guess it comes under being organized. You want to find a good book. Now that could be online. We've already mentioned Corbett Maths does pretty much everything you need without buying a book. I thoroughly recommend the CGP books. I've always found them to be very thorough and fun. But if you get a good book and do all of the questions, it will give you a good basis. You want to then move on to some challenges. We'll come to that. So the reason this video can be useful, it will point in the direction of some syllabus slingers. People that will cover the entire curriculum. If you get stuck in your book, you're going to go to them. You're going to get an explanation. You're going to see if it helps. If they don't help, you can go to a study buddy, channel that's going to reply, and some straightforward help there. Hopefully, I'm going to say that it's one of the hardest things. I've addressed it in other videos. Your teacher or whatever you find annoying that's pushing you to do the hard work will not be around there all the time, and you're going to be in a situation where you're on your own in the exam. You need to make sure that you're challenging yourself all the time so that you're ready for that, so that you build resilience, and the only person that can do that is you. It's all very well, as I said, when you've got that extrinsic motivation for your teacher or whatever, but you need to set that bar high. So don't go cheating. Don't go straight to the answers. Don't suddenly turn to someone next to you and ask for some help. Have a go at it yourself first. Give it a good go. And that's going to build up your self-esteem and resilience. Really important is to make a schedule and stay disciplined. So a lot of people are not organized enough. What happens when you're not organized, do you think? What happens is people end up panicking because they didn't organize, let's say, a schedule and they missed doing revision for something. It's very reassuring to have a schedule. It almost feels like you've got a job done towards your study, and that can make a big difference. You've got to have your mind in the right orientation to do study properly, otherwise it doesn't retain stuff. Another important thing, as I said, we'll come to, is the element of challenge here and the zone of proximal development, which you can see lies just outside the comfort zone. The way we get there, the way we improve, is through a process very similar to when you go to the gym, actually, called progressive overload. What you're doing every time that you want to improve is challenging yourself with just the right amount of challenge, the Goldilocks zone. Too much, and you're kind of going to put yourself off, and too little, you'll put yourself off in a different way. You're bored, and you won't make progress. Get involved at the right level is going to ensure that you are making that progress. We'll talk a bit more about balanced progressive overload. How do you get challenge? Well, I've produced a little document on studying A-level maths, and we're going to take a little excerpt from it. This is the first page at the top. Balanced progressive overload. a healthy and successful approach to learning A-level maths. And I think there's a lot I've said in there, but I think the most important thing you want to be looking for is to do with how you get that progressive overload through challenge. And I'm going to just give you that guide in a second. Its aim is to increase complexity, which leads to growth. Now, this isn't a little part of that table. The table itself is ranked on numbers, and for the rest of it, it will have links to these particular resources so that you can use them. But I can tell you that top one. The top one is textbook. So they're very basic exercises, anywhere between 0.1 to 0.8 difficulty, with 1 difficulty being the exam, right? Because that's where you're aiming. Then you can go to past papers, which generally are the same as where you're aiming. And then we've got some exercises like the Solomon papers, which generally considered at about 1.2 difficulty, and the IYGB papers, which, as you can see, 1.8 up to 3.9. So the progressive overload is how we're going to improve and how we're going to grow every lesson. And it does feel painful. Some people are put off by this because it makes them feel awkward. It's just part of it, and it really, really is like going to the gym. And remember how many times you can't be bothered to go to the gym, right? So that pain avoidance, but get involved.